from Charlotte, North Carolina, at a combined weight of over 660 pounds, Rody Rob, Adam Bomb, Bionic Brian, the Marked Out Wrestling Podcast.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Wednesday Marked Out Wrestling. This is the podcast devoted to battling to find out who won Wednesday between NXT and AEW's Dynamite. In order to properly represent both sides, I have to bring in the yin and yang to my host duties here. Rody Rob, usually representing the NXT side. What's up, buddy?
Hey, man, I'm excited about tonight only because I get to talk to you guys because my attention span tonight was horrific. You know, it's
you're stuck in your little political la-la land of news.
Pretty big day, you know, and I'm pretty intoxicated, so you know.
Yeah, and the AEW guy representing that side, I guess the defendant, Brian.
We don't know that. We don't know that just yet.
Sorry. For the persecution, Brian.
Well, no. Also, am I the yin or the yang?
You're the yang.
We're the yin and the yang.
You're yang.
You're the yang. Rob doesn't have a yang.
I'm the yang. Like anti-yang.
You're definitely the yang.
Yeah.
So we got a lot to talk about, Brian. The themes tonight for NXT side was Dusty Cup semifinals, basically. Pretty simple and straightforward. And they're building toward AEW, toward TakeOver. AEW, I don't, and maybe you can tell me if I missed it, because, you know, we have to switch back and forth volume over here. AEW didn't do a lot to build toward Revolution tonight.
You don't think so?
Can you argue what they did?
Well, I mean, you had more stuff with the Inner Circle. You had that going on. You had a little bit of.
But how does that play? I mean, they're not. MJF and Jericho are fighting the Bucks. The Bucks were busy doing other shit, and MJF and Jericho were busy doing Inner Circle shit.
Well, I was just saying what was going on with the Inner Circle itself. Like, that was kind of the focus.
But if you're building, what I'm talking about is building the pay-per-view, is what I was saying.
Sure, I hear you. I hear you. And maybe not so much the actual card itself, but building the angles that are setting up the card is kind of
wow, that was some good spin there, man.
Thank you.
That was political.
I've been watching a lot of CNN today too, man. So.
Yeah, how to answer a question without answering a question. Right. I love it.
Jeez Louise. Okay, I didn't expect that. So where to go from here? We might as well just break it down. Let's start with the curtain on each side. Before we do, I got to introduce our fourth man, aka our YouTube live chat board lieutenants. We got the Hall of Famer Daniel Price, Hall of Famer Christopher Stykeleather, MJ. What's up, buddy? Sealer Stout is here, and Perfect 11.
Thousands more.
Yes. Well, those are the Top Guns.
I know.
These are ones that they just highlighted.
They earned their spot.
I just don't want people to think we only have 4 people watching. Yeah.
No. Well, these are.
We got thousands.
No, well, these are the 5 that the intern Greg sends over to my screen.
Oh, right.
Okay. I mean, so there could be thousands, there could be millions. I don't know. These are the people he sends over to my screen.
Can I tell you something?
The same ones. Yeah. I don't know why.
Can I tell you something, Brian?
Yeah.
I hate Greg.
Yeah, Greg's slow on the videos. We can't make them timely.
Well, actually, where did your show get canceled? What's going on? Where is it?
I don't know.
Canceled.
I got into a contract dispute with the producer, and he's holding out.
You shot it. And, it's canceled.
All right, so
cancel culture. Cancel culture.
It was taken down, Brian. My show was taken down. The Dusty Cup on one side. We've got Legado del Fantasma and MSK. Brian, this is a very solid match, and I know we joke a lot about the bingo hall people, but MSK, their debut pretty much here is in the tournament. They're going to the finals. They've won me over. This match was, another straw in their cap, if you will, and a good showing for them. Do you think that they'll win it all?
Man, that's a good question. You know what? I mean, the way that they're pushing them, I think that they could. I don't see why not? What's the other option?
Well, Rob, I want to go to you on the other option because WWE has a history, not necessarily NXT, of doing this in the past. When you vault someone from debut right to a pinnacle event and they lose, does that...
No.
Because I don't think either team, in my opinion, between the Grizzled Young Vets who win later and MSK are ready for the titles. And the winner of the Dusty Cup gets a title shot.
Yeah, I mean from that argument, sure. Yeah, but I don't give Dusty Cup all that much cred on a push or direction. And the reason why is because it's been a mixed bag. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but the only actual tag team to win it was Authors of Pain.
No. They've done every other year, I believe. There were 3 Frankensteins and 2 regulars.
Okay, well, if that's true, that only solidifies my point. There's no consistency on what it pushes or who it pushes how. It's a programming thing, and that's it. I mean, if MSG or whatever
MSK,
if they win,
wow,
they might give them a random title shot and it gets interrupted or they get beat, but they did a good job. Or if they lose, good for them. They had a good run, but whatever. I mean,
Brian, I want to question. I'll piggyback off Rob a little bit. I feel like maybe the Dusty Cup, since he says it really doesn't mean anything, I feel like every time we get a Dusty Cup, we are all talking about how, man, they got no tag teams right now. I feel like the Dusty Cup just rebuilds their division because there's a lot of teams that we see solidified here. Whether they won or not, we see. And then, there's some Frankensteins that were thrown in for story.
Yeah, I feel like there's always Frankensteins, though. I think I made this argument.
Well, you have to with 16 teams.
Well, but like we had the argument the other day. It's a tag team invitational. So it's like if a 3-on-3 fucking tournament. I played when I was a kid. At the Coliseum. It was 3 guys that got together. We didn't play on a team together, but we wanted to go play in this invitational fucking tournament, right? Just to go play. So that's what it is, invitational. Hey, man, what you doing? They got an open spot in the Dusty. You want to do this with me? Sure. That's why, to me, it's not a big deal that there's Frankensteins or not. It's an invitational situation.
No, I disagree with that stance completely.
Okay.
Well, if you're trying to push your tag team division, if that's what you're trying to highlight, then you shouldn't be putting.
But who said
it's
that?
fine if you want to put 2 guys in there, but if to push them to either win or go far.
That's the thing. That's not, and that's my point about the inconsistency. You can't make the claim that it's a device for pushing a tag team division.
Why not?
Because half of the time it hasn't been.
The grizzled young veterans, again, not to get ahead of ourselves, pinned Tommaso Ciampa tonight.
Okay.
To advance to the finals.
Then this year, though,
you say that they're not building a division with that? That's not a push there?
No, I'm saying that this tournament, through its history, is not labeled as a tag team push tournament. This tournament through history has been a mixed bag of pushing individuals and tag teams alike.
Okay.
So if you want to say this year they're focusing on tag teams to build the division, that's fine. That's a valid argument. But don't fucking tell me that the Dusty Tag Team Invitational Tournament has ever been fully committed to the push of a tag division. It's not true.
Okay.
Well, that's sad.
I'm going to meet you in the middle, Rob.
It's a fucking invitational.
I'm going to meet you in the middle because I think you just explained your point right to resonate with me. How about this? It's done to showcase the tag team division, even if they don't win. Yes, because you're introducing these other teams and things like that.
Yes, and a lot of the other teams, every year, a lot of the other teams are Frankensteins. You're not introduced.
This year they had 16, though,
if
so
this
I was okay with the Frankenstein.
If this was to introduce or push tag teams, they would have had more tag teams in it. Just because
they had a lot.
No, MSK and fucking and the Grizzled Young Vets.
Yep.
Okay. Who are the other natural tag teams in this?
Imperium was in it. Lucha House Party was in it.
They're gone.
Legado del Fantasma was in it.
Gone.
It doesn't matter if they're gone. It's still.
It's still. Yeah,
active.
you asked who was in it.
No,
and the final 2 are natural tag teams. So your point is what?
If the opening round eliminates most of the tag teams because you had to fill spots, and then the rest of the tournament doesn't continue in the highlighted matches with all tag teams, then it's not meant to highlight your tag teams because you had them all lose in the first round.
Rob, the final 2 is 2 natural tag teams. 3 of the final 4 were natural tag teams.
Again, you can use.
I don't understand your point.
You can use it as I've already explained it. You can use it as a device to push a division.
Brian, help.
But to say that the tournament is, oh God, I'm making perfect sense. So you're just being.
You're making sense, but it just. I mean,
yes, you're making sense. You're making perfect sense, Rob. The problem is in the context that you're saying it in this year's Dusty is not that. The
Right.
5 previous
that
you want to
was
say
exactly my point, you motherfuckers. Exactly my point was that this year you could say it highlighted the tag division, but the Dusty tournament itself as a general whole through its whole fucking existence has not been committed to pushing or highlighting the tag division.
Okay.
For fuck's sake.
All right, so on the NXT side, we just over-discussed Legado del Fantasma against MSK. Brian, on the other side, we have an undeserved title shot.
Just the bad boy Joey Janela, and I couldn't agree more.
Darby Allin taking care of Joey Janela by defeating him tonight.
Didn't see this one coming.
Yeah, shocker.
No, not at all.
Shocker that Joey Janela is not the new TNT champ. What I did find shocking, Brian, and I want you to go on record at least maybe with this part. There's a lot of spots tonight where Joey just let Darby fall on him. You know, through various whatever that Darby did.
It's because he's got no coordination.
So I don't know what you're trying to say. What are you trying to say? Are you saying that
Like, okay, here comes a suicide dive.
Okay.
Joey's just gonna take the brunt of it. Coffin drop. Joey takes the brunt of it. Top rope move. Joey. I mean, the whole match was just a bunch of spots for Darby to land on Joey.
Well,
Dude,
I mean,
he's got the padding. I get it.
exactly. That's what I was gonna say. I mean, Joey is a very soft landing spot. So, and he probably has a wide kind of range to grab someone. So that's fine. That's fine.
Joey
What'd you expect anyway? Darby, of course, is gonna fucking mow through him.
Joey is
But why book this?
You're so rude.
That's one
You're
of
so
the-
rude. You saw me say 2 words
But
back up,
I
and
wanted-
then you interrupted when
I
I tried to
wanted
get
to
him out
address
again.
his point.
No, you saw us getting out. Go ahead.
Come on, jeez.
Go ahead.
Brian, why
my
book it
comment
if you
was
know
going to
he's
be
not
2
gonna-
sentences, and then you
Okay.
could have talked.
Go for your 2 seconds.
No, you're good. It's not funny
No,
anymore.
I want to hear Rob's 2 sentences.
No, it's not funny anymore.
We're all waiting.
I was going to say that Joey Janela is to AEW what the little bitch dude was to basketball.
Squeak.
Yeah.
Or
Squeak Scolari.
Yeah. Yes, that's all I was going to say. And at the moment,
Your
that
mom's
quick, it
going
would
out
have been
with a squeak.
fine.
Black-
But now
yeah.
it's the focus, and that's never what it was meant to be. Go ahead, Adam. Go ahead.
all right, we took care of that. Anyway, this was it was what it was. I'm sorry. I'm going to go with the Dusty vote. We're not going to break down
where
a
was-
ton of stuff tonight.
Where's Joey in the rankings?
He's not on them.
He's not.
He's not in.
So he got a title shot.
Yeah,
Though.
the only thing he is on is Skylar Snow. I'm going to go with the Dusty NXT side for my vote.
Yeah. Anything other than Joey.
Yeah,
Janela.
there you go. I knew Rob would do that. Brian, your vote's meaningless here, but give it to us.
Well,
Give
I'm
it to
gonna
me,
vote
baby.
for Joey Janela then, and AEW, even though it doesn't count. Whatever.
Why? Can you give me a justification or just because?
No, just I mean, honestly, right now in this case, just to annoy the 2 of you.
I mean, no, we've accepted your biasness. We're there.
No. This isn't real bias.
You're
This
speaking
is
to your
just-
base. I get it.
Yeah, no. No, this is just to grind your gears, Robert.
So
No
speaking
grinding.
of
None. Nope.
Mongo McBias, tonight's episode of Who Won Wednesday is brought to you by the All Elite Hour. You can check it out. Mongo McBias will be with his 2 good co-hosts discussing and breaking down all the good stuff that you get on Dynamite. You know, the real wrestling and stuff. We're just talking about storylines and stuff here. They actually talk about the nit and gritty, if you will.
Gritty and knit.
the knitting in the gritty.
The mitten. The burning is mittens.
We wear mittens, yeah.
Mittens.
Yeah. On the board, DP, Joey Janela is a prime example of everything wrong with AEW. He's a botch monkey that's being put on TV to polish things, but he sucks.
Polish knobs.
Wow.
That was
And
harsh.
Stike says, why was this match made? What has Joey done to earn a title shot? That's pretty much
Great
Rob's
point.
whole point.
And let's just put it out there that not this match, not Joey, but it is a TNT title, right? It's supposed to be a big deal, according to everybody on the roster, Cody.
Yeah, this isn't the 24/7 belt.
So this was just kind of a shitty curtain jerker. You put a belt that's supposed to be important up against Joey Janela and
And the one time I thought they might make it relevant with Team Taz coming out, they don't.
yeah. I remember when Team Taz came out, we were both like, oh, who fucking cares?
Yeah, who
fucking
fucking
cares? Sting's gonna walk down on his fucking rascal or come down on his rascal. He's gonna fucking, hey, you kids, get off my fucking lawn, and then it's gonna be, music hits and you just hear Taz going, "You're gonna fucking regret that." You know, it's yay. There's the segment. And Joe Janela's whacking himself in the corner. Whatever.
Yeah. So let's just go ahead and get that out of the way. So later on, we see Sting being interviewed. Hey, the contract signed. You're having your street fight. Blah blah blah. Oh, by the way, here's Team Taz out in the parking lot with Darby in a body bag that they're about to drag around. Brian, what did you think about this unnecessariness?
Yeah, you know, it was a lot. It was a lot. But going back, you know what? I want to change my vote. Actually, now that we're talking about it, I'm going to vote for NXT. Yeah. Now that we're saying, now that we're talking about all the stuff that's been going on.
Well, I think we can just close the show now. It's over.
No. Let's not do that. We might get a tie here, Rob.
Okay.
For AEW to go back to 1-1. On NXT side, we see a couple vignettes. I grouped them together here because they're all the same. Mercedes does a little tough girl promo. Remember, she's in the triple threat with Io and Toni Storm.
Yeah.
I thought the promo was fine, but I don't think she's going to win, which means that the message of the promo is you're what?
What were they supposed to say? I'm going to have a match with him, but her, but I'm going to lose. So
Speaking of what are they going to say, Tony's promo, Brian, I don't know if you actually watch this, but Tony's part, her vignette later was much, much better. If she loses, she loses. But her promo was all about what is reality, Rob, which is always a good way to talk shit.
Yeah.
She's like, I beat you at the end of the Mae Young Classic. It wasn't you that won it. It was me. In fact, I've always beaten you.
Yeah.
I've never lost, like.
She did that same, but she did that same thing with Rhea. She did the same exact thing with Rhea.
Oh, yeah. Write that down for your petty later.
I didn't mind this promo. I thought it was actually pretty good.
No, it's fine.
It was good. It was pre-shot, so they, and Tony wears glasses so she can read from the cue card without you knowing.
Yeah, I mean, but it was we just did this.
All right. Well, it's a triple threat, so I'm blinded by that,
By the light.
This was really
like
fun on the Dynamite side here because this is one of those stories, Brian, we talk about, and even Rob and I always praise the way they've been doing the whole Inner Circle and then later with the addition of MJF, Wardlow, this whole thing. But it came to a bit of a head tonight with Sammy and MJF. MJF tried to entrap Sammy with the little recording. I want to take over the Inner Circle, and I hate Chris Jericho. But Sammy breaks his phone and gets a punch in there. And then flash forward to later. I don't want to talk about the match yet, but Sammy quits. What do you think about that, Brian? Do you think anyone else is going to leave with him?
It's been rumored that Santana and Ortiz are potentially on their way out as well. I could see them.
They're getting a meaningless title shot for no reason next week, by the way.
So that would leave the Inner Circle as Wardlow, Hager,
MJF and Jericho. Which will eventually lead to the 2-on-2, or they'll bring back all the old guys and have them pick sides, do an 8-man tag.
Or what about Jeff Cobb? They could bring Jeff Cobb back. He was a hired gun.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. He's under contract. He's not coming back.
He's under contract.
He's
under contract to the Alliance.
Yeah, as long as it's not WWE, you can be on AEW. You know,
right?
It doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, we'll promote.
Oh,
your stars.
you wrestle for Iowa Wrestling or Alaska Northern Championship Wrestling? Yeah, come on, fucking jump in.
So
water's fine.
Brian, isn't Deanna Purrazzo?
Joe, is pissing all over it.
Where is she signed right now? She's a champion.
Deanna Purrazzo, she is the Impact. She's the Knockouts Women champion.
Oh, okay. So she's basically Dynamite champ too.
No, that's not true. However, she is going to be wrestling on the card next week for GSW.
I don't want to talk about it yet, Brian, but
I know I'm just going to
the
get
Good Brothers, Omega, Mox, other people. There's a ton of belts just wandering around tonight and in the building in general.
Dana Price on the board, good point here, kind of stepping back to the previous segment. Said the street fight stipulation is because Sting can't go a full straight-up match anymore, bells and whistles. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that.
You think it's pre-recorded?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't even care, but that's not even part of the point here. But
that is part of the point because he can't do it for real.
Stop. I lose my train of thought. Now, I think he probably could still go in the ring. You don't think he could go in the ring?
Not for 20 minutes.
Why not?
He's
well, I mean, in
fucking
a tag
pushing
match,
60.
maybe.
Yeah, in a tag match where he's just got to stand there and catch his breath after 3 moves.
Dude's in shape. I mean, if he's in shape, he can go. I mean,
Big
Terry Funk with the work.
He didn't look good when we last saw him in a ring.
I get it,
and
but
there's got to be a reason that they haven't put him on in 6 weeks after he's debuted.
I'm just saying, if Terry Funk can wrestle 30-minute matches as he's withering away for 30 years, you know, I think Sting could pull a 20-minute match out of this.
You can't use the Funk card on us. He's the exception to everything.
Well, that's true. But I mean, look, first off, I think he could have a match. Yeah, it's not going to be Stinger from the 80s or 90s. Sure, I'll concede that. I think he could still have a match. And I think Sting being in a street fight is about the most ridiculous thing you should have done to bring him in for his first match. That to me is why
it's cinematic. They can control it, so he doesn't look bad.
I understand your point, but from a fan's perspective, the last thing I wanted to see Sting in to start with was a street fight. I think
2021, bro.
It's out of fucking character for Sting. It's just not. It's not.
They can't do a cinematic in-ring match.
What? It's not out of
Okay,
character.
anyway, what are we voting on? Are we talking about the Inner Circle?
Sammy and MJF against the TakeOver women's vignettes for Mercedes and Tony. It's Inner Circle.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
1-1. Round number 3. This one, you guys are gonna maybe get on. I don't know. This one's got a lot of layers to it, in my opinion, on both sides. Number 1, we have Brian's. I can't even keep track of what number wife this is, Brian, but Cora Jade. You don't know how many wives he has. This one's Cora Jade. I don't know what number
I don't know why
she
you're
is.
saying
Why would anyone want more than one?
Yeah. Well,
Brian
first of all,
claims dibs on all of them because he's the only single guy.
Yeah, but it's not wife. I've never said wife.
Oh, okay. Whatever. Sorry.
Yeah, one is.
Anyway, she lost pretty quickly to Xia Li and got the finisher technique. Xia Li in her new incarnation, Rob, looks like she went from Street Fighter to Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, you said that, and I was like, oh, that's borderline offensive, I think.
And then she does the finish him. No. I mean, she does the finish him even now. Like,
I hear you.
Shao Kahn over in the corner goes, finish him.
She went from being cartoony to fucking brutal.
Yeah, that's my point.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
It's very dark. The whole thing is very
it's very dark.
It has been from the start.
Yeah, she's hot, but I just want to put that out there.
And at the end here, Casey and Kaden lost in their bid in the tournament for Dusty on the women's side. So good to see that they're getting their ass kicked here. So they had something to fall back on.
Stike leather. Sorry to interrupt you, Stike leather, but I think Terry Funk never had the injuries Sting has. Terry Funk probably died 3 times.
Yeah.
I mean, fucking come on, dude.
I think he's the $6 million man, but like the Peter Griffin version where he's like got the plunger for one of his legs.
Terry Funk was like duct taping his ribs together. Get the fuck out of here. Come on, go ahead.
Oh, anyway. On the other side, that was just they're just telling the story with Xia Li. She's squashing everybody.
Do you think a comment on the board just had me think for a second? Xia Li would come over to AEW and instantly be fucking top of the roster.
Well, but that's, I mean,
do you hear what I'm saying,
Rob? That's like saying Brian, who has and Brian, I mean no disrespect here, but Brian, who has 2 bad hips, joining a team of people that are legless. And it's a kickball team. He's obviously going to be the best person when he gets over there.
You're equating her to bad hips?
No, I'm equating
first of all, my
that
hips are not bad anymore.
I'm equating a bunch of people like a polo team that can't swim.
Okay, why are you making everybody handicapped? Why don't you just say
that's why I said a polo team that can't swim. That's not a handicap.
Yeah, I'm saying like if I went and
polo team can't swim.
If I went and played basketball for a fucking a 7 to 8 year old team, I'm gonna be fucking dominant.
Right. Okay. There you go. That's what I was saying. Yeah. Okay.
Right. But in my own minds, like in my own genre of people, I can get some shots in. You know.
That's what I do. I do karate with a bunch of
Xia is
kick the shit out of them.
Xaya's great. I love Xia, and she's good where she's at. But it's so bad in AEW their women's division. The Xia Li would go over there and immediately be the fucking headliner.
Yeah, but we talked about Rob. There's probably a good 10 girls that could do that on AEW.
Roadhouse.
There easily is 10
Well, no.
women that could show up on AEW
Yeah.
and run that shit.
Yeah, no, I agree.
They'd be like their Goldberg, undefeated for like 500 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So biased. You call me the biased one. You guys are fucking sucking NXT's dick.
Well,
all
I mean,
night.
when they pull it out and it's big enough, then yeah, I guess we are. But AEW's like, look at my clit. What do you want?
The big difference for me, Brian, and why I'm always so critical of AEW is because NXT does stuff to actually build people's characters. And the beauty of it is they have their quote unquote dark talent be the ones that lose while they're building up these contenders. That's how Jeff and Matt Hardy started. They were just, hey, you guys, we got other stories to push and we need to give them victories, but we don't want them to beat Val Venus every night. So you guys are up. On the AEW side, this Brian, I'm fucking torn, man. I'm torn. Cody and Lee Johnson, Cody Rhodes and Lee Johnson. That sounded like they were married. Cody Rhodes and Lee Johnson are taking on Peter Avalon and who, Brian?
Bonani.
That's right, Cesar Bonani. He got to keep his name. That's cool. But it is his name, isn't it?
I think it's his actual name.
Yeah. First off, I've got a bone to pick, and Rob, you can just jump in after I get going on this one.
Sure.
Why, when Cody was no longer able to vie for the AEW championship, why wasn't he booked in this manner? By that, I mean Lee Johnson. Nobody knows who he is. Bonani, this is his debut match, if I'm correct. And Peter Avalon's kind of thrown in here because he's had a couple matches and feuds with Cody recently. But Cody could have used his stature in making people not turn the dial to check out 3 new dudes that have been kind of showcased and a little bit pushed recently and get you exposed to them instead of what he's done in the last year. So that's why I'm torn, because I think Cody might actually be using his stature and brain to kind of give some people some rubs here. Even though obviously they didn't win, Bonani and Avalon.
And it was a tag match.
Yeah, it was a tag match.
And
Another
also
tag
the
match.
the promo afterwards is pretty cool.
It was, but that almost soured it for me.
Why?
It made it more about Cody again. I thought this was cool to have the young guys do this. This is what NXT does very well. Look at like Ciampa going down to work with Thatcher for a while. That's what you should do. If Cody's down here, he should, or working with them, it shouldn't just be filler because his feud is with Shaq, who's off TV. Because I'm worried, and why I'm glass half full here, Brian, is I think as soon as the Shaq match is done, Cody will forget all about these dudes and anybody else he signs, Bailey's husband and whoever. They'll be back on Dark. What's Dark?
You know what I want? I want a singles division, and
You always say that.
yeah, well I do. But
A tag division and a women's
in
division.
addition to that, I would like to see it could just be a TV feud, TV storyline, whatever. I would like to see somebody getting a feud at the fucking Librarian. He's not.
This is Cody. That's Peter Avalon.
No, I know that.
He's not the Librarian anymore, bro.
Okay, look, just work with me here. I know that.
You want him to fight Leva Bates?
No, I'm not. Look, I'm just saying. I would like to have seen him stay the Librarian first, and second, I would like to see him have kind of a low card feud with somebody. Didn't have to be anybody big.
I know who he could fight.
Who?
Kurt Stallion.
Yes.
So juicy.
Yeah, he could do that. He could do that. But
I got you to smile.
But you know what I'm saying? Like even back in the day,
I do know what you're
even
saying.
back in the day, you had Boss Man and Al Snow. They weren't even mid carders. They were low carders, but they gave us a little feud there that was enjoyable. Give us some shit like that.
I thought it was really
what
good.
About Kingston? What about Kingston and Pac and all that? That's a feud.
That's been decent, and I've liked Kingston. Brian, you remember when Brock Lesnar debuted? He fought Matt Hardy, then he fought Jeff Hardy, then he fought them both.
Right.
Like those were the 3 consecutive pay-per-views that he fought. That was perfect because both those guys were not world champs or even singles guys at the time. They were tag team division, but this was a perfect way.
But Kingston and Pac, the problem is they're still both wrapped up in groups. And I love factions,
but one took the other's group while he was gone.
But when the show itself becomes it's nothing but factions, when it becomes a fucking high school cafeteria,
again, that's just the booking philosophy though. I mean, just look at like how Cody just
I hate
introduces guys into the Nightmare family.
I hate the booking. I hate the high school cafeteria booking. I hate it.
And Daniel Price says, I'm all for someone getting a rub, but Johnson's promo at the end was so bad. It felt like Cody had him rehearse it too much. Make sure you include Brandy.
Make sure you thank the Nightmare family too, bro.
Yeah, I mean, come on. That was forced. I got to go NXT here.
Yeah, NXT, man.
I'm very torn on it, though, Brian. I'm very torn. I just don't believe that Cody will continue to do this.
Wait, are we talking about this versus the Xia Li?
Yes.
Oh, no, I'm going NXT. I love everything about Xia Li.
Yeah.
And you got a Cora Jade appearance.
This is
yeah, but that's not. I
is
feel
that
bad.
two?
What?
It's 2-1.
Actually,
no.
She was supposed to wrestle Joey Janela right before she signed, but obviously WWE didn't let that happen.
But he has BO. He has BO.
Well, yeah.
No, Brian. Is that 2 votes for NXT by Brian?
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. Man.
Well, you know what? Now I'm convinced. Now Trump they might convict him after all. I don't know.
Rondo's got what plants crave.
It's happening. Idiocracy is here.
Weird
500
shit is
years
happening.
early, Rob.
Yeah.
All right. So we better get that hospital button, thing going quickly. Regal finds Scarlett in his office here. They said, time's up. You don't want to talk to my husband, so I'm here. Make it happen. Regal says, okay, yeah, you're right. Cross versus Escobar next week. Later on in the night, Cross takes out Legado del Fantasma.
Legado del Fantasma.
So
Legato.
this is finally happening. I like it. I thought it was perfect. You don't need to give it to me all at once. They've done this over the span of a couple weeks, and it's been something for Cross to do. And he doesn't need to be booked at TakeOver here because you're kind of going to have him blow off this feud right before TakeOver so that after TakeOver he can get back in the title hunt, I feel.
It's a very astute assumption, Adam.
You know how they do that, though, Brian? Like NXT will take their TV feuds and either blow them off on the go-home show or the show after their TakeOver, and then the ones that are the best ones, those 5 go to TakeOver. They don't try to do 10 matches like everybody else.
Rondo's got what plants crave.
What's up, boss?
It's funny because it's true.
Who you saying hi to?
What are you doing next? You're the host. What's going on?
I was talking to you guys and you didn't. Okay, never mind. On the other side, AEW, we see a circle jerk that Rob muted halfway through, so I'm not really sure everything that was said, but it was basically the Good Brothers and the Bucks talking about how they're going to let Proud and Powerful challenge them next week.
Look, here's the thing, the challenge we have. We have 2 shows going at one time, so often only one can have sound, right? So we got to mute and change over whenever there's a promo.
There's only so many ears.
And I was like, and there was something coming up on NXT, and I was like, well, let me see what's going on with the Bucks and them. So I hit play, and it's like after about a minute, I'm like, they're not talking about anything at all. And
they're not even talking about their upcoming opponents at the next pay-per-view.
And I muted it and went and turned the volume on NXT, so we didn't hear the whole segment. Brian, this is just another one of those examples, my friend.
Ooh, I thought of a new Brian nickname.
Is it the Interrupter? Because that's obviously taken by you.
Right.
But once again, my friend, me, the guy who's clamoring for a singles division, so bad. Here we are with a fucking some bullshit. They weren't talking about anything at all. And then you're going to have 2 of them in the fucking main event anyway, in some way. So why not put a little match here? Why not have a little singles match here? A women's match. How about that? How about not just I don't want to.
They already filled their quota. They already had 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't gotten to it yet, Rob.
Yeah, okay, all right, yeah. Make sure you ask me that question you asked me earlier.
I will.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, that whole thing it happened.
Well, also, I mean, Santana and Ortiz, they are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. They are 5th in the tag team ranking, so of course they get the shot.
Okay, so Brian, The reason I put these here is because both of these are examples by NXT and AEW of segments that they chose to do tonight to promote a match next week, which is good, for the why the fuck is this happening next week kind of vibe on both shows. I care about Cross and Escobar. Even though I'm not really invested in either character, I'm okay with the way the story's been evolving. The Bucks announcing they're fighting number 5 ranked Proud and Powerful next week, who, by the way, has been declared not the tag team of the Inner Circle.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know.
Ask Brian to guide us because I need guidance here.
Yeah, Brian, can you help?
Walk
please?
us through this.
Yeah.
What? Why Santana and Ortiz are
Everything he
No.
makes sense of everything he just said.
Everything I just said. You've got one show promoting a story nobody cares about for next week, and one show promoting a story that has evolved to be something we might care about.
Well, I mean, during the Bucks promo, they said that they didn't want to wait till a couple weeks to defend their title, so they said that they want to defend them next week. So that's where that match comes in.
But why wouldn't they pick somebody good?
Whoa! Do not disrespect Santana and Ortiz. First of all, they are good.
Sorry, you are correct. You're absolutely correct. My mistake.
You jumped over on that one.
My mistake. How about they pick somebody that has a chance of winning?
Well, come on. They're not going to drop the fucking belts before Revolution.
Before Impact.
Exactly.
Before the Impact people get them.
Thank you, Brian. You just said it. Why the fuck are you booking a tag match for the championship when you know you're not going to drop it right before Revolution? They could say, this is way more logical, we're going to fight Proud and Powerful because our opponents, MJF and Jericho at Revolution, are part of the same faction with them. And so it makes sense to tune-up match there. Because guess what? If you don't put the belts on the line, there's a chance that you might believe Proud and Powerful win. There's no way they win because now the belts are on the line.
I also think it goes back to
please at least agree or disagree with that statement before you say whatever you're
say it one more time.
So if that match was not a title match, it makes more sense because it's Inner Circle and they could potentially win.
Ooh.
Because it's a title match, they're not going to win. Proud and Powerful.
So if it's not a title match, I agree with that.
Current Hall of Famer Daniel Price says, what other company has a track record of oversaturation of belts they do nothing with? Let me think. It's one AEW swore they wouldn't be like.
And the reason they have an oversaturation of belts, Brian, is, let's be honest, it's because they have NJPW belts on there, NWA, Impact, whatever.
Yeah, so
bring a belt.
It's not their belt; it's other people's belts. So that's why it's different.
FCW.
FCW.
Welcome to Saturday Night
FTW.
Championship Wrestling, where every single promotion in the country gets to put their belt on the line during our TV program.
Thank you, Cameron.
We don't even have a I'm Cameron Grimes, and I like titles and money and titties.
Wow.
Did he say that?
No,
Rob
did.
Should have.
Rob definitely did. So
I'm
anyway,
not upset about saying that.
I'm going to go with Regal and Scarlett and the way they booked for next week.
Yeah, me too. Going to NXT.
Oh, the deficit is rising. Brian, you want to cast your vote that's already lost?
I'm going to go NXT. The fact that they have like a matchmaker, I know. It's just I could see your guys' reaction on the YouTube live stream. Yeah, I'm going to NXT. I'm sorry, AEW. I love AEW.
This is Roderick Strong, and I approve this message.
This next round, I think the way they booked it tonight was just to beat Brian in submission too, Rob, as we go from curtain to close. The next one is Hangman and Hardy, same old shit backstage, versus on the other side. And Rob, I want to cut to you first on this because you've gone on record many times saying you don't give a flying fuck about Johnny wrestling. And then he keeps kind of reinventing a little bit of gimmick, and you seem to care. Yeah. Tonight, he was very entertaining in this segment.
I think white meat babyface Johnny Gargano was lame to me. And I think once he turned heel, it took me a while to acclimate to that.
The smug loser.
This new version of him, I don't know if it's, the wrestling's the same. Nothing's changed about the wrestling.
Yeah, he's still talented there.
But like this segment tonight had me cracking the fuck up. And it was more of the cracking up was the back and forth with him and Regal. I mean, it was so funny that even Regal.
Wait, what's the R stand for?
Real. Even Regal, if you go back and listen, at the end of it, Regal starts cracking up towards the end of it, and he has to pull his bearing back in. But it was a funny fucking say, and the way
when he had to go Kushida-san.
Yeah. And the way he sold when he got kicked into the fucking wheelchair, it was so perfect. The way he just hit it, rolled back on the fucking mat, and then Candice. Look, I'm sorry. This I think was one of the better, or at least most entertaining moments of the night. 2 shows combined. So all props to Johnny Gargano.
Yeah. So to recap real quickly, because I wanted Rob to get in there first. Johnny says he can't defend at TakeOver against Kushida because he's not medically cleared. He hired his own doctors to prove it, and here's his X-ray.
It's not even your right arm.
and Regal says it's this X-ray says R on it. That's for your right arm. You're not even injured in your right arm. You don't have the right arm in the sling.
With that break, you would be in extreme pain right now. I got a high pain tolerance.
And Rob full kayfabe goes, no, the R is for real. That's my real arm. He couldn't name the bone.
Johnny wheelchair.
Yeah. And then Kushida wins in the end, LOL, because he's tapping out. Or he beat the shit out of him. Sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself to the other segment. Sorry, Hangman. Sorry, Hardy. You're in a stall, boring storyline right now, and it's not going. It's the same as the last 2 Hangman stories. I got to go NXT.
NXT, Brian.
Oh, God. You know what? I only because Gargano said, he was like, I just need a few months, and then they'll do a Beautiful Day music video about me.
That was one of the gems.
I got to give the vote to him just for that line alone.
So for those out there who don't know about that Easter egg, Triple H, when he busted his quad, he waited to come back at the Royal Rumble that, of course, he won. But he was doing the U2 Beautiful Day video vignettes every fucking week. And I felt like they're like, we're going to commit all 5 minutes. They played the whole fucking song with Triple H rehab shit going over. It's like the montage that would never end. All right, next round. I don't even know who won the next round here, by the way, on the AEW side, Brian. So I'll need your help here because the NXT side was so much better. I was watching it. We have Pac against Not Dolph. If you're keeping track at home, this is Not Dolph 1. We might have more to come. I don't know how many siblings he has.
That's so crazy.
I don't even know who won this, Brian. So this is all you to present the case here for the persecution.
Pac versus Ryan Nemeth?
Yes. The Hollywood, what is it, Hollywood hunk?
Something like that. Hollywood blonde hunk. Yeah, I don't know.
Their father must be like a gremlin, but when he gets poured with water, he pops off douchebags.
What?
Hey, that's not nice.
Yeah, that was, wow.
Do you know him personally, sir?
No, I'm just saying.
He could be a really nice guy.
Who, Nemeth?
Yeah.
No, the dad might be.
Dorothy Mantooth was a saint.
Dad might be great, but the kids are worthless.
Well, Dolph is,
Boy,
I don't know. He does those
That escalated quickly.
Yeah.
Who's the girl that used to be the MTV VJ?
Brian killed a guy.
Which one? There was Kennedy.
No, Kennedy. Yeah, because now isn't she on some fucking?
And then there was Duff. What was it? Just Duff?
Duff McKagan.
Karen Duffy.
Oh, I thought
she
you
went by Duff, and then later she became credible as
Duff,
Karen Duffy.
Duff Beer?
No.
Daisy Fuentes.
It's funny because it's true.
No, not Dolph.
Who was the other guy with Daisy Fuentes?
Fuentes.
What was his name?
Who?
Rock and Rock. Dan Cortez. There we go. All right.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Anyway.
Good for you.
All right. Yeah, great poll, Brian. Can we vote yet? We didn't even talk about NXT, and I'm ready to just give it to him. Brian didn't even tell me who won. Pac or Nemeth.
Pac won. Of course Pac is going to win.
Well, I didn't want to say it wrong. I thought AEW might give a victory to some guy. Like, you know,
beat him with the brutalizer. Hit him with the black
Cool.
arrow and then the brutalizer.
Right.
Bing bang boom.
Yeah.
Ember and Shotzi advanced to the finals of the women's Dusty, defeating Candace and your favorite, Brian, Indie Wrestling.
Indie wrestling.
She's got the family name.
Yeah.
Indie wheelchair.
Indie wheelchair.
Good match.
Yeah, it beat the AEW offering, correct?
That's sound analysis.
Before Rob and I vote, do you think that the NXT offering was better? You're quiet. You're trying to think of a way around this.
Are you talking to me?
No, I'm talking to Brian. I
Oh,
wanted
yeah.
to
I
vote
thought you were talking
first.
to Rob.
I don't think he
you were
knows.
talking to Rob.
Nobody knows who you're talking to.
Sorry.
You cut us off so
Sorry,
much we thought it was your
baby
turn to
birds.
talk
Brian.
again.
No, we're not baby birds. I thought you were talking to Rob, so I zoned out. What were you
I
saying?
said your name like twice, and Rob didn't hear
Did
it
you
either.
check the tape?
I don't want to
Check
say
the tape.
anything because he just interrupt me. So I was like,
Brian,
I don't wanna do
vote first before me and Rob.
Vote for these two, of course. I mean, nothing really happened on. All right, you know what? I will say the match itself was okay on AEW, but I'm gonna vote for NXT.
Yes. NXT had consequence, and okay is the best you could say about Dynamite. Guess what, Rob? Do you want to vote? Either way, NXT is up 5-1.
NXT. NXT.
5-1.
Yeah.
All right. Good. Thanks. You're the best color man ever in
I
studio with
didn't
your
have much
fucking.
to add. It was good. NXT.
All right. Fucking
Sorry.
dick.
Sorry, we're getting to that late part of the show where my brain's like,
Well,
it's
there's only a couple left.
day's
all
been
right?
kind of heavy on me. I'm feeling like going to bed.
Yeah.
Only 3 left, Rob. 3
Okay,
left.
all right.
MJF and Jericho beat the Acclaimed. Surprise. And Kushida beat Theory. Gargano and Loomis are in at the end. And Loomis is making Theory tap. And Gargano is getting tapped out by Kushida at the end there. That was a fun little thing. But then Loomis is eyeing Kushida holding the title. Do I smell a triple threat? I
Ooh,
can't tell.
That's cocaine.
it smells like a triple threat.
It does. If it quacks like a duck, it's a duck, right?
I think so. Yeah.
All right, this seems like a triple threat then. MJF and Jericho against the Acclaimed. Fine match, Brian. The fallout after was the only thing that mattered with Sammy quitting.
Of course. Yeah. Obviously. I will say this was a fun talk about like building segments and stuff and building little mini feuds. This was a good one. They actually did a little bit of, I don't know if you guys caught any of it, but they actually did a bunch of, I think they did like a music video or something. The Acclaim did. Doesn't do anything for you?
That's the second time they've done a music
Yo,
video, and they
AEW
lost.
raps.
They lost the last time they did a music video, and guess what?
Well, I
they
don't think it
lost
wasn't so much a
again
music video.
after doing a music video. And I bet you though that when they made it, it didn't take. Never mind.
Oh, you know what? I bet you when they made it, I bet you they gave a shot sheet. I bet you they gave. They'd also.
I
didn't
gave
change
my
the planning
director
of
what
it.
he
They
requested.
also
Wow.
didn't-
It
they
took
also
him
didn't
4
change the
times.
Planning of it.
It took him 4 times to finally be able to get his sentence out, and you cut him off on the one he could actually say. It's like, I bet they can get. 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 Dead. Oh yeah, well I'm Adam. Ha ha ha.
Right.
Yeah, it's all good. Hey, Dana
It's
Price
not
says.
Mondays, Rob.
Dana Price says the Judas effect from Jericho is sloppy. He tripped into it. Jericho is sloppy. Jericho is just like
He runs a sloppy shop.
Jericho is what happens when just life gets depressing.
Do you remember that the Taz sloppy shop bomb, and then you got super spreader events that Jericho hosted?
No, but
Soup bones Cole.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm torn here, Rob. Help me walk through this.
Okay.
You've been torn a lot tonight.
Kushida in Theory and Loomis and Gargano and Kushida are already booked for the North American. I feel like this is a lot of consequence and good story build. But Sammy quitting after the match with the Acclaimed here
That's big news.
that's bigger consequence, all right?
Yeah, no, I give my point to AEW here because, I mean, as good as I thought NXT segment was, and it would beat any other segment in AEW tonight, the
This
fact
is
that
pivotal.
the fact you have Sammy quitting, that's a major point.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Ryan, you agree with the logic?
100%. Yeah, that's a big deal. Sammy quitting.
So 5-2. And I think it's pretty permanent. I mean, they may do the 10 years from now reunion, when Jericho's the J.J. Dillon of the group. I don't know.
The Ole Anderson.
Yeah,
Right.
who apparently is still alive, and everybody thought died years and years
thought
and
he
years
was.
ago.
I mean, I'm happy to hear he's okay.
Yeah,
But I thought he was dead. I honestly did.
yeah, it's like Larry Flint.
Fuck.
So, all right, so AEW's got some bright spots here. They're only down 5-2. The bad thing is we only got 2 to go.
Actually, you know what? Let me throw something in here real quick. Let's see here. Stikeler says, I think Sammy quitting is the first domino to fall, and slowly the others will fall until there is none. That actually makes really good sense as a way to build towards a big primetime pay-per-view MJF Jericho match. Is it eventually they're all gone, and MJF's master plan the whole time was to tear Jericho's world apart.
Yep.
I love that.
I like it too. And I like that they have at least some storylines that are built long term. Petty.
Some. What are you talking about?
You heard me,
here's
motherfucker.
Well, I mean, it's look. You can obviously tell that there's no that Jericho writes for Jericho and Inner Circle stuff. Cody writes for Cody's shit. Bucks write for their shit in the tag division. You know,
They're not even
Kenny-
sitting in the same room throwing the ideas off each other.
yeah, Kenny's who knows what he's doing. But so
Just playing golf.
yeah, so there's it's no coincidence that the best long-term storyline in AEW is fucking Inner Circle, because that's Jericho's storyline. As much of a douche as he might be in real life, he's still the GOAT when it comes to wrestling. And that is the only thing going, in my opinion, on AEW that is a sustainable storyline that's got entertainment value and twists and turns and doesn't over fucking whelm.
And so the Kenny Omega thing does nothing. That does nothing for you.
Yeah, let's see.
No.
Mox loses
My
a belt,
God.
but still shows up with another belt.
I was
Yeah, that
excited.
did nothing for me.
Dude, I was so excited
We'll
about
get there.
when AEW started up. I was so excited about Kenny Omega. I really was. I never really watched him like that. I was like, oh, everybody's talking. He's so great, just like the Bucks. They're so fucking great. And then they get in, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, he can move around the ring. He's fine, but there's nothing about Kenny Omega that's making me go, oh, this guy's one of the top fucking 10 of all time. I'm not there. I don't think he's that entertaining. I think he's he's a fucking cornball.
He's our final round, so let's just get the warm up out of the way.
All right.
The Eliminator Tournament. We have a kickoff match here to get it started, Brian. Leela Hirsch against Thunder Rosa.
Oh yeah, let's talk about this.
Brian, first off, this tournament's going to take a fucking year if they continue to do only one match a week on this. You know, Dusty on the other side has 3 matches a week to keep their shit going. And Rob already said this, so I want you to address his point too. He said, well, the women's division only gets 1 match a week anyway, so they might as well be ready for it.
So that means that the tournament is going to be, they're going to be like, dude, guess what? I came up with an idea. We're going to do an elimination tournament, right? And we're going to have like 16 matches to start out with. That means, you know, we're going to get almost a year's worth of fucking content here. Cause you know, 1 match a week.
Oh my God.
I was talking to Brian. You cut him off before you could even answer.
Yeah. Well, you know, I was doing an Adam. Yeah. Go ahead, Brian.
No, all I was going to say was they're actually having some of the matches, I believe,
Come on,
either
baby
on
bird.
Dark or it's going to be on their own YouTube show.
What's dark?
Oh my God, it was funny.
Oh
at
wait,
first.
so they're going to do most of the eliminator tournament on Dark? Are they?
No, it's like the knee
Is it
gag,
Dark
Brian.
the YouTube show?
Yeah.
Is it,
No, well, I don't know if it's going to be on Dark, but they're going to be doing their own separate like YouTube.
Wait.
stream, I
So
believe, for
there's a tournament to showcase all the talented women they have on their division, and they're not even going to put them on TV?
Well, they're putting some of the matches on. Also, some of the matches they're filming in Japan.
My head hurts.
bang bang. NXT.
Oh, wait, that's right. They have their Japan alliance.
Yeah. Who's this? What's this
Oh,
going against?
NXT side is Cameron Grimes.
Cameron fucking Grimes.
He's GameStop rich now.
Yeah,
and he's back.
GameStop. I got me some GameStop stuff and made lots of money and stuff. I love that. Number one, that they're using the GameStop angle as a story. I think that's
Roadhouse.
I think it's great. We always talk about we want them to mimic real life. That's great. And I think one of the most unexpected players for that role was Cameron Grimes. And
a country version of $1 Million Man.
I absolutely love it. Because what it sounded like to me was a trashy Ric Flair is what I.
Well, that's kind of what they did that with Jamie Noble. I think Jamie Noble won like some inheritance or something when he was with Nydia, and they were like trailer park people, but they ended up getting rich really quick, and then they were buying all this elaborate shit.
I thought this felt like Jed Clampett kind of won the situation.
Yeah, no, exactly right. Price says Rob would mark out if he formed a tag team with Kurt, and they called themselves Grimy Stallions.
Kurt Stallion.
And Cameron
So
Grimes.
juicy.
Cameron Grimes. Look, this,
They're having the Japanese bracket on YouTube, Stike says, Brian.
No, this is going to stick.
Yeah, there it is.
This is it. This is it now. This is the nickname. Sorry, Cameron Grimes. Your name, thank you, Perfect 11, forever is going to be Hick Flair.
Hick Flair?
Hick Flair.
Oh wow.
That is fantastic, and that is admiration. I'm not even hating. I'm giving you that nickname, Grimes, because you know what? You are one of those that when you came on the TV, I was like, what else is on? And now every time I see him,
he used to be the Joey Janela to you of NXT.
He really was. And now every time he comes out, I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, it's a Cameron Grimes segment. Cameron Grimes.
Or like the Lana of Raw for you.
Yes. I mean, let's not go back to those dark days.
He's gonna puke!
Yeah, Jamie Noble took Nydia's winnings for himself is how it worked. It was Nydia
Oh, is that
that
what it
won.
was? Nydia's winnings. Okay, I knew they got rich somehow, or he got rich.
Jamie Noble, baby. So it's Rob vote. Cameron Grimes against the one match we get of the women's tournament that apparently is going to take a year.
NXT all day, brother. Yeah.
Brian, that's for Rob.
I really enjoy Cameron Grimes, and yeah, this whole thing is just adds another layer. NXT.
Wow.
I'm short.
This is the
pressed.
butcher, and I'm a little blown
Yeah,
up, but you did okay.
I need a COVID test.
All right.
Phil, are you listening? Hitman, are you listening? I think we've lost Mongo McBiased.
I mean, I'm not biased all the time. It's just
Are my
that's how the
headphones
way
working okay?
You guys take it.
Is this
Are
a
they?
dream?
Hello, Rob.
Bob?
Is this a dream?
Bob.
Pinch me.
What the fuck?
All right.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
We're giving another it's 6-2 NXT, and what's more shocking is that 5 out of those 6s have been sweeps in the voting of the MOWP hosts, 3-0. Here we go. We're not going to talk about it, so we're just going to overshoot it real quick. Jungle Boy addresses FTR. Cool. The final 2, the main event. Man, I don't even know where to start. Brian, I'm going to let you choose NXT or AEW. Whose main event do you want to go?
Let's go NXT.
All right, NXT, we got a semifinal match in the Dusty. Thatcher and Ciampa, Grizzled Young Vets. We already kind of dissected a little bit of this in the open, but I figured the history, like Rob talked about, that Thatcher and Ciampa were going to win here and go to face MSK in the finals. Nope. Grizzled Young Vets win. Finals are set for TakeOver. Is that right?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. TakeOver Vengeance Day. I wish it was just called TakeOver Vengeance.
Yeah. Why is it Vengeance? Why are they fucking with it? Why can't it just be NXT Vengeance?
Yeah, it's stupid. It's
Stupid.
It's a rare miss by NXT.
Yeah. And they tried to
Right.
adapt the old Vengeance logo. That's okay.
Yeah.
Good match. Solid match. Swerve ending for me. Grizzled Young Vets, MSK. We're getting new teams being showcased down here, so I kind of like the way that worked. AEW's offering. We have, what the hell was it? A no disqualification, last man stand. I don't fucking know. Is it last man standing? Because there was a pin, Brian.
I thought it was an open mic.
Just false count anywhere, anything goes.
Oh, falls count anywhere street fight thing.
Again, I thought it was an open mic night.
And we have
going on.
Kenta and Omega against Mox and Archer. Now, Ryan, I'm very petty and I pick on Dynamite all the time for predictability. But I said this as the match was going on to Rob. I said you have Kenta, the number 1 contender to Mox's NJPW title. You have Mox, the NJPW champ. And you have Omega, the AEW champ, and then the fourth guy in the match is Lance Archer.
Mm-hmm.
Gee, I wonder who's taking the pin.
Yeah.
They didn't do him as dirty as the past. At least Good Brothers came out. But what do you got for me, Brian?
No, you're not wrong in that you could see that who was going to take the pin, right?
It's funny because it's true.
But I mean, outside of that, it's not like I thought it was a fun match.
Okay, the match was fun, but I'm saying like one of the things that you're hoping for this outcome in NXT, I thought for sure Thatcher and Ciampa are going to the final.
Mm-hmm.
I thought for sure, and they didn't. Everything on AEW's card tonight, I could have predicted without watching the whole fucking show, without saying a word. Oh, Sting signed the contract for the street fight match, and Team Taz beat up Darby. That happened. They were only going to have one women's match. That happened. MJF and Jericho would beat the Acclaimed. That happened. Lance Archer, I explained the logic how I knew he would take the pin in the main event. Guess what? That happened.
It happened.
Darby was going to beat JJ. I knew that was going to happen.
Happened.
Cody and his tag team partner against anyone else was going to win tonight.
Seat taken.
That happened. Pac was going to beat Nemeth. That happened.
Can't sit here.
The only thing that was a swerve on the entire 2 hours of Dynamite tonight in any fucking way was that Sammy quit. And that wasn't even so much a swerve that I didn't see it coming yet.
Do you like ice cream, Lieutenant Dan?
You got magic legs, Lieutenant Dan.
That's all you can say to that. That's your comeback.
No, you're
Sorry.
right. You're
I'm
absolutely
sorry.
right. And
Yeah.
actually, that was one of the I forget who. That was one of the complaints that they made about Dark. And now it looks like the booking is that
What's
logic
Dark?
is kind of over. Exactly. That logic is kind of you can apply that to Dynamite just by looking at the card on paper. You're like, oh well, that person's gonna win. This person's
Okay,
gonna win.
you're right about that on Dark because they have Brian Cage fighting Griff Garrison, right?
Right.
Or something that equivalent. You clearly know Griff Garrison is not beating Brian Cage.
Sure.
But
They let Brian Cage only get pinned by true like top tier guys like Darby Allin.
So, when I watch TV shows, I determine whether I'm going to watch the next TV show by the current one I'm watching, right? If it invites me back to watch because of cliffhangers or storylines or whatever, I'm going to come back to it. That's my problem right now. AEW, what was the suspense tonight? What was the cliffhanger moving forward? Besides Sammy quitting, which, we'll see where that goes. That's still something to watch for. But
we knew that
besides
was
that,
coming eventually.
well, right. But besides that, where's the cliffhangers tonight?
I mean, Omega and the Good Brothers
Omega.
celebrating, kind of standing tall.
Really? That's the cliffhanger tonight?
Really?
Yeah,
I
why
just
not?
explained the logic, Brian, of we knew Lance
They've
Archer was going to
been-
eat the pin.
They've been doing that.
You knew it.
They've been doing that.
And so by proxy, that meant Mox was losing and Kenta, Omega, and the Good Brothers would be celebrating. The only thing I was wrong about, and Rob will back me, I thought that the Bucks were going to come out too.
Yeah, I was surprised. They might have got caught up.
Yeah.
Maybe their fake money guns got stuck. They're like, we're not going out with our stuff.
I think that was the time of the night where Rob's like, we got a show soon. I got to go get some coffee. So you might have missed that.
Yeah, maybe.
Margaritas at 4:00.
Getting drunk, man. Getting drunk watching
No,
democracy
that's not
collapse.
Dude, he had to get through the impeachment. He can only do it if he's drinking
Yeah,
margaritas.
I got off work and I still had a couple hours left of the impeachment. I'm like, oh, where's the liquor? I can't fucking.
Yeah, I had
Yeah.
a few beers for dinner too. I was watching
All right.
all day.
So main event time, the never-ending predictability, and just hell, my overall vote. I'm gonna go with NXT for both the overall winner tonight. For all the points I just made. Brian, give me your overall winner and give me your main event winner. Oh, sorry. Give me your main event winner and then your overall winner.
My main event winner.
It's
I
coming.
gotta say, I enjoyed that tag team match on AEW.
course you did.
However, with that said, my overall winner, I do have to give the nod to NXT. I thought that was the more enjoyable show tonight. Overall.
It's true. It's damn true.
Rob, give me your main event winner and your overall winner.
I'm just gonna be spiteful and give the main event to NXT. And it's a spiteful vote. Like I was saying earlier. I'm sorry. Kenny Omega to me is a huge disappointment for where my expectations were. The Bucks, huge disappointment for where my expectations were. This main event had so many belts in it. It felt like SmackDown by itself, right? It's such a predictable ending. The only redeeming factor for me or for anyone, I think, in this would be one, it had people in the match that, respectfully, Brian, people like you would masturbate to.
Which he did.
And two, you had
which I did.
You had and two, you had a gimmick match, right, where you had some brutality.
Until he had some knuckle children.
That to me, that's so lazy to me. I'm so falling off the AEW train. I mean,
and this invasion, you don't give a shit about, Rob.
I don't care.
That's the problem.
And they just doubled down. Now they have NJPW invading too.
Yeah.
They doubled down in the middle of an invasion by Impact.
Establish yourself first before you want to do some cross promotion.
Thank you.
That's just bottom line. Look, the overall winner, obviously by our point scale, is NXT. But I want to
7-2, Rob.
I want to put a little explanation and a point after this. Is that, in my opinion, not by the fact that NXT was some revolutionary night tonight. I just think 1-1, this was the biggest defeat that AEW has taken to NXT, in my opinion, tonight.
7-2, and Brian voting with us.
And I'm just taking the score out of it. I'm just going by feel and just everything. NXT is on a stride. They are on their game right now. AEW is lost and fucking confused.
Mm-hmm.
NXT is
looking more like WWE.
NXT is the impeachment managers, and AEW is Trump's defense team. That's what's happening right now.
Dynamite's looking a lot like Raw.
Also.
What's that, Brian?
I was just saying we have to also watch what the ratings are in a couple days too. I mean,
again, I'm taking all the ratings out. For me, tonight was the biggest AEW.
Forget the ratings,
dumped.
Brian. Okay,
It was
because
dumping
Raw, which I think out of the 4 shows that we talk about here, SmackDown, Raw, Dynamite, and NXT, I think we all would agree that Raw is the worst of the 4.
Yeah.
Raw has the best ratings unless they've dropped below SmackDown on Fox. Well, Fox is
no.
different.
I think they dropped below SmackDown. I think.
Yeah, but you
next
see what
Wednesday,
I'm saying.
we'll pull the ratings next
They're
Wednesday.
greater than Dynamite, and they're a bigger shit show. Dynamite feels a lot like Raw. It's very disjointed. It's not good. And I was talking about this with Rob before we went on air. NXT was an hour long on the network. They have been on TV as long as Dynamite. I think a month longer, because they debuted early on USA and went to a 2-hour format. And we all criticized them. Check the tape. I don't know if they'll be able to get that same feel, if they'll be able to do it, and they're going to go to 2 hours, if they're going to be able to, blah, blah, blah. We made all these fucking we were wrong. They have fucking done a great job of going to 2 hours. I think 2 hours is a good length for this type of an entertainment program. They're just AEW. They're not even finished with a fucking invasion from the NBA guy Shaq before they throw in NWA invasion with Impact, and now they're throwing on NJPW, and they featured wrestlers in the women's division that aren't even signed full time more than they have girls that are signed full time.
Let me give you another example, Brian, if I may.
And why is Cody touching fans?
Yeah, let me give you another example, if I may, Brian. And I'm going to go back to my love of certain TV shows, and we always talk about The Walking Dead here. So The Walking Dead, also throw in Game of Thrones, right, in case you're a fan of that. There was so many actors, so many storylines in those 2 shows that one episode you would get, Joffrey heavy, and you might not even see Jon Snow.
Nope.
You might not see Jon Snow for 3 weeks.
There were sometimes
you wouldn't even see him for 3 fucking weeks, right? And same thing.
Walking Dead, that train track season.
Yeah, you might see Rick in one episode and you don't see him again for a fucking month, right?
Yeah.
So that just shows you can have highly successful programming and you don't have to throw everyone on the TV for it. You can develop storylines that run 2 hours for a half of your roster or a third of your roster or even 2/3 of your roster, and then alternate that the next week. Mix it the fuck up. Stop throwing everyone on TV every fucking week, all of them together in their fucking high school cafeteria, in their cliques and all that shit.
They're like Mean Girls.
Develop a fucking a singles division. Let talent blossom and take you to the next level of professional wrestling and television programming. Stop relying on all these fucking gimmick indie matches and bringing in all these. I'm sorry. If indie matches, if the indie match booking was so successful, then all these indie companies would be on TV.
Rob, I think Stike has a great point here. He says NXT was the better show, but of course AEW is going to win the ratings because hardcore fans hate all of WWE. Here's the thing, Brian, these dick riders of AEW have made them think that they're doing a really good job. So in a year, they have not evolved.
Yeah. I see it more like the tortoise and the hare.
But you see what I'm saying? They think they're doing so great.
Oh yeah, because they thought. And
we thought we did so great on the couch our first show.
I know we're just bashing your boys here, and I love you, Brian. I know we're just bashing your boys here, but I just got to be honest. It's you're right, Adam. There's a cockiness to them that's undeserved. It's just not deserved. You have not shown anything with your product that has wowed me, and I'm a fan, right? And it's a tortoise and the hare. Where AEW came out, we're fucking great. We're gonna take digs at WWE and make people go ooh and ah for a little bit, and we're gonna do all this shit and blah back to tag team wrestling, da 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 da, and we're just gonna run. They're the hare, and NXT's like, it's okay. We're gonna keep doing what we're due.
Right.
And then eventually, who wins the fucking
It's a
race?
good analogy.
It really is.
It really is.
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
I
keep
wasn't
on.
being my dickish self.
No, I appreciate that. I'm gonna keep on doing what I do. You know, so
And they've lapped them because while everybody was dick riding, sloppy shop comments and going crazy on social media, AEW wasn't getting any better.
I don't know. I still prefer this type of booking as far as it goes. Like with working with other companies and stuff. That's what I enjoy.
What is your fucking end game?
No, and Brian, I get that. Respectfully, my friend, I get that because you are an indie mark. You are. You have been a
You know who all these people are.
You know them all. You follow them all. You were fucking YouTubing them. You were fucking beating off to their fucking the picture you bought at the hall.
Mm-hmm.
You were doing all that stuff. And in those indie promotions, when you went to PWX, when you went to PWG, when you went to some of the other ones, you got to see all these. Sammy Callahan would show up and Matt Hardy in the same fucking night. You got all these different.
that dude's from Progress.
All these fucking people coming in. So you got all these people, and that's exactly what AEW is. Hey, we got a booking. You want a spot?
Where me and Rob, if we were with you at all those events, anytime one of those people showed up, we'd have to go, "Who's that?"
Right.
And you have to give us their whole fucking bio.
So,
I mean, not even just like give us the name. You have to give us the whole bio. It's not, but this is a nationally televised thing. Who has a roster full of talent?
I think it's a bad thing.
We have never argued that AEW has a roster full of talent, but they can't book them right and solidify themselves properly, and now they're just outsourcing with again, I believe no end game. What are they going to form an alliance network and have profit sharing? Only one of them has a TV deal. If anything, this is going to blow up in AEW's face because Ring of Honor, NJPW, or one of these other invading companies like Impact is going to take their TV deal. Because get this, Brian, and I'll walk you there. What if the highest ratings for Dynamite are when the Good Brothers and Don Callis and other people from Impact show up? Eventually, TNT is going to go, all the episodes that were rated high were with their guys. Contracts coming up soon. Maybe we should talk to them.
You're there's logic in your words. I think you're stretching the reality there.
I am. I'm going to the nth degree.
Yeah. I just look. It's no story to me. I mean, look, The Simpsons show up on Family Guy once every 5 years, right?
Is it?
The Simpsons. Somebody from The Simpsons will pop in on Family Guy once every couple of years. You might see it, right?
Oh, I didn't know. I don't still watch those
Well,
currently.
okay, don't fuck my point here.
Okay.
But if you had The Simpsons showing up on Family Guy every fucking week, then why am I watching Family Guy? Watch Simpsons or vice versa. All I'm saying is that we just don't need it all. We don't need it. We need storylines and continuity within their own brand. Once they become established, once they get their shit together and stop thinking they're so fucking high and mighty and great because they sold T-shirts and they got a lot of indie bookings. Sorry, reality.
And anybody who works a full-time job and doesn't use their TV to babysit their kids doesn't have time for 23 hours of programming across all these things. I don't know about this, but Brian and Rob, I need your help here with Daniel Price's comment because it's WCW related. But he says at least WCW is smart about how they book New Japan and AAA.
One-offs. Yeah, it was one. You bring Muda in for a year, goes away. Cool. That was a day when you shared. You didn't share talent. But hey, go over to Japan and learn over there for a while.
Cool Scorpio going to ECW or going to WWE.
They had like talent exchanges and stuff. Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. They did some good stuff, but they also
talent exchange is one thing, Brian.
New Japan. Who was it? I think they booked some fucking whoever was the IWGP champ at the time was on like Thunder in a meaningless match. So I don't know. They did some weird stuff too.
Daniel Price says crossovers are fine, but overs aren't.
Yeah, he said Liger and Juventud Guerrero was one he can think of. To me, AEW's problem is they're putting over the other promotion's talent more than their own. That's from Stike. Yeah, Stike, that's exactly it. The Good Brothers look way stronger than the Bucks.
But again, look who's in this crossover feud. Who is it? It's the usual suspects.
Mm-hmm. It's everybody but Cody.
Right.
Everybody but Cody.
I wanted to see new talent. I wanted to see new personalities. I wanted to see the next Rock or the next Stone Cold show up. I wanted to see good storylines. My biggest hope for AEW, the main thing I was looking forward to with AEW was they said that they were going to let the talent create their own personas. That was exciting to me because we had gone through years and years of WWE being so fucking scripted that nobody could accelerate and become a star.
Yeah, you can't be the War Raiders. You're going to be the Viking Raiders.
Right.
We're going to change this. We're going to change that.
I mean, even like, and I bring up Sean Spears again, but even like Sean Spears, I was excited when I learned he got signed to AEW because I wanted to see what he could do outside the confines.
Yeah, he's a perfect example of dropping the ball.
Yeah, I want to see people create personas that blow me away, and I can't get that because I got nothing but fucking tag matches and nothing but fucking factions.
The other thing, I think we would all agree that we like the Inner Circle, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Hager has some credibility from WWE, and he has some MMA credibility. Plus, because of his MMA stuff, he's kind of a part-timer. He's not always around. The Jericho's established. We know him. Great. But what did they do with that gimmick? Aside from those two, they inserted Proud and Powerful, who were just LAX 2.0 before that to everybody, and Sammy Guevara. They have made those three relevant, Brian, by not always working with their buddies. They made them this group. The Elite has just looked out for themselves. And they've left everybody else just lying in their wake. Like they're like, oh, we made Hangman a star for a while. We don't know what to do with him now.
Let's go celebrate and go to Cracker Barrel.
Yeah. And I thought it was very telling in their opening, the show opening. This is super fucking petty, by the way. In the show open, watch the graphic. They show Private Party once and the Bucks twice. No other tag teams.
Wow. All right, well, let's move on.
Anyway. So we declared the winner. Let's do the marked outs. Let's do the petty. Marked out for me, NXT, the Dusty bookings. I thought the tournament, the way they've booked it, has been very, very good. I've been interested. I've been engaged, and it's lasted multiple weeks. Cool. Good job. On AEW, I did give a marked out award, seeing some consistent, fresh faces kind of showing up. We know they're not going to win ever, but we're seeing them. Yeah. That's what I got. Yeah. Brian, marked outs for both shows.
Yeah, marked out for AEW. I'm gonna have to go with just seeing Layla Hirsch having a match that actually kind of matters, like the title match. Oh, not even a title match, but the tournament match. What? Why are you shaking your head? You don't like Layla Hirsch?
No, I think she's fine, but they put her against Thunder Rosa. She was going to lose, obviously.
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
so
obviously.
I would have rather seen maybe a later run for her and stick the Super Saiyan that hates everything to lose the first round.
And I wouldn't call it a good match either, Brian.
Yeah, it was.
No,
that's a
still,
stretch.
The fact that she was on that she's getting time. So
The fact that
I'm
she
okay
was there.
with it.
Okay,
Hey, this is my marked out.
You're
one,
right. You're
okay?
right. What's your other marked out?
And for NXT, I mentioned it before, but fucking Johnny Gargano and his fucking line during that promo, I thought it was fucking so goddamn.
Oh, so good. You know what Brian just sounded like though? I was picturing in my head Owen Wilson when he's doing the Zoolander thing, and he's like, you know, I don't really know what Sting does, but I respect him for it. I admire.
All right.
Anyway,
All right.
what's yours?
Marked out for AEW, it's going to be Sammy. Sammy leaving Inner Circle. I think it's obvious. Marked out for NXT, man. I had 2 segments going head to head in my mind, battling away, having their own little storyline. And I got to give my marked out to Cameron Grimes, the return of
Over
Cameron.
Gargano, was that the other one?
Yeah, it was a battle between a redneck and a wheelchair. So
Yeah, and the cool thing, by the way, of the way NXT does bookings, they're like, Cameron, you're going to be off TV for a month because we're going to let Loomis kill you off to give his cred. You can just, go work out at the PC for a little
part
bit.
of me wonders if he went up to fucking to Hunter or Regal and was like, hey, so check it out. I got me an idea. So I know I'm off TV right now, but what about I jump in now and I say I won money on GameStop? And they were like, you know what? That's fantastic. Yeah.
Even better, Rob. What
Put
if
him
he
on this
actually
week.
did win like $30K?
He might have. He might have.
Brian, I'm going to let you kick off the petties because
Kick it out.
me and Rob have been extra petty overall.
Kick it out.
Let's see. My petty for NXT. Oh, God. You know what? I'm not going to give them a petty award, actually. I thought the booking that they had tonight was very sound. I was actually pretty happy. I didn't find myself being petty at all. So I'm gonna pass on giving them a petty award.
All right.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, son of a bitch. Hell yeah.
Yeah. And for
JR's not happy about that.
AEW, I gotta go with why did Joey Janela get a title match? I understand it's not the world title; it's just the TNT title. But still, I feel like I don't know. Maybe
He would
I'm
be
just
in the
missing logic.
24/7 division.
Yeah.
Right.
I've lost a lot of things, and one of them has been my smile.
No, don't like that.
All right.
All right, Rob, Petty Town.
Okay, Petty Town.
Last stop.
God, it's a tale. It's 2 different stories here because like one of them, trying to think of a petty for NXT, and
Brian didn't come up with
I know,
one.
and I'm having a hard time. This week was really, really, really solid, and I'm trying to come up with a petty for AEW, and I have so many options. So I mean, my petty town is. I'm just gonna echo everything I have been saying. Is my petty town.
Okay.
You
pulled a Medine and just took all the answers.
I mean, I don't want to. I want to find one corny thing that stuck out and be like, that was stupid. Okay, fine. Sting in a fucking street fight. That's stupid. I don't care what anybody says. Sting debuting his first match in a street fight is fucking stupid.
Here you go, Rob. You get another one.
Stupid.
All right. Quicks marked out from the board. Marked out Women's Dusty Cup. Raquel and Dakota win and take the title to NXT. That's Stike. He says for AEW, Sammy quitting. Petty on the board. More petties than marked outs. Janela's like watching wrestling without cable back in the day. There's a match there, but it's all scrambled and you can't enjoy it.
It's a booby.
That's
I
from
see the
DP.
boob. I see the nipple.
Petty for NXT, also from DP. The overlap of all the posing around the trophy at the end and the overly loud piped-in noise. Yeah, the piped-in noise is would be my petty for NXT. It's the one flaw I thought I saw.
Yeah, it's COVID.
And Stike says, petty for NXT, nothing. But for AEW, all of these kidnapping segments. First Marco, now Darby. Yeah, they don't have original ideas. And I think Rob said this. When you have everybody doing their own thing, they don't realize they're coming up with the exact same ideas. And then they're, wait, we were going to do that. Well, we beat you. Well, I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah, shut up. I like money.
And my petty for AEW.
He messed me while I was watching. Oh, my balls.
Here's how I'll sum up my petty simply for AEW. NXT has a year head start on you now. Good luck, AEW. You got to catch up. You could keep the torn
Sorry.
You didn't have to start it over.
You didn't do your stuff yet. Sorry.
Yeah, no.
Oh, look, Dan Price says
EP rolling the wrap it up box.
Yeah, right. DP says even Bischoff said AEW is flatlining.
Yeah. There are diehard. Somebody said it earlier on the board. I don't know who it was. There are diehard people that are going to make sure that ratings is there. So at least TNT is happy, but they're not going anywhere.
I don't know about that.
Every other sport is lapping you, and there's not a big enough audience.
Look, let me make this point about what you just said. People tend to forget, because I was a Nielsen family at one time. People tend to forget that one person in their house can represent 50,000 people in a Nielsen rating. So that means
when your dad was here watching Fox News, he killed you.
Right. Fox News is blowing up because my dad was here watching it, right? So if NXT loses 5 people who are Nielsen almost got it, who are Nielsen family people, I don't know what 5 times 50 is, 50,000, but that's
really it's 250,000. You jackass.
But that's 250,000. So 5 people you could lose. It could drop your ratings by a shitload, by a quarter at least.
A quarter of a million, and they're not at a million.
Yeah. So
that would be huge, though.
They're almost there, though. They're right there.
To Rob's point, because I think he just won everything with math. If they lost 5 viewers, five viewers, if they lost 5 viewers that are Nielsen families, that's 250,000. That would put them way below NXT, I think, because they're in the 840 range. Is that right, Brian?
Yeah, usually. They're usually right below million, and somewhere in between like the 70s and 90s.
Yeah, and NXT is usually around 650, 700.
650 to 650 to 800, yeah.
I mean, sometimes they have a bigger night, but if they didn't lose those same 5 viewers or even gained 1,
right?
Dude, that's a game changer, man. I'm not convinced, and you all these other people without TV deals, this would be huge. If they had a TV deal, if Impact was on any fucking network, on the Spike.
They're on Access TV.
If they were on Spike. Okay, they might as well be on Pluto. If they were on Spike, a nationally televised network, and you have another one that's on TNT, and they're going head-to-head on each other's shows, that's exciting. When half of this is happening on Dark or fucking BTE or Impact, whatever, man. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Remember that tonight's episode was brought to you by the All Elite Hour AEH, coming out between now and Monday's podcast when we'll all be back here together. Between now and then, MJ, I believe Kyle, and Brian pulling up the rear of that crew, but they'll analyze Dynamite probably in a more favorable way than we did tonight. So if you didn't like what we had to say, check the dial. We have one alliance that works all together. We're not like that other scatterbrained one.
If you don't like us, fuck off. He just said.
You got other choices, or you can come back here for me and Rob on Mondays with Brian, Mondays with the Marks. We've been having some fun there.
You're struggling on this clothes, aren't you?
Yeah, I just want to get out, but I don't want to not. Anyway,
all you gotta do is say, "Hey guys, thanks for listening. We appreciate it. Wear your mask."
Okay, can I say it in a less pussy way than you just did?
I think you did a good job, Adam. I think you were doing a good job.
Thank you.
No,
thank you.
He gets caught up in himself sometimes.
All right.
Yeah.
Tune in next time. Same smart time. Same smart channel.
Bye.
Catch you on the ding dong.
Good. Marked Out Wrestling Podcast.
Marked Out Podcast is produced and edited by U-Record Studios and is recorded live from Charlotte, North Carolina. Subscribe, follow, and listen to us live following WWE programming on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook Live. Download the podcast by following us at podbean.com or subscribe on iTunes and Apple Podcasts. While you're there, go ahead and give us an honest and fair review and rating. Finally, if you have enjoyed our product and would like to see us grow, please donate to us by visiting the donation link below our live video, or you can donate via Venmo and Cash App at the handle Ravepro. That's RAVEPRO.
You're listening to the Electronic Media Collective Podcast Network. Yeah, it's a mouthful. For more great shows, visit electronicmediacollective.com.